Thank you.
Yes. So as you guys know, obviously we're Sun Control. We're the Shining Light on Minnesota's our podcast. And for the viewers that are out at home that don't know, this is our episode 2 of season 2. We have some ladies here today that will hopefully be very insightful, bring joy to you, and I'll let you introduce themselves. Go ahead, Nancy.
Okay.
Hi.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here with you.
Thank you.
I'm Nancy O'Brien. I'm the co-founder of Experience Happiness.
Wonderful.
And I'm Deanna Hokinson, and I am a happiness practice facilitator.
Outstanding. Thank you guys both for being here. So I've done a little bit of research because that's kind of my job when I go into these, not knowing everything that you guys do. So tell us maybe a little bit, we'll let you start first, Nancy, about where you, or how you got started.
Yeah, so thank you for that. Not unlike any other entrepreneur or innovator, I needed something, that wasn't available at the time. Right. So, if we would have met 16 years ago, you would have said, Nancy, you're doing everything you're supposed to do to have a happy life, right? And, but quite frankly, I was suffering from suicidal ideation.
Got it.
And what I know now that I didn't know then is I was actually suffering from the 16 signs and symptoms of burnout.
Got it.
And if the Gallup Well-being Index score would have been out at the time, and it wasn't, I would have scored A+ on all 5 indicators.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah,
I'm flying around the globe doing customer and experience consulting and design. Yeah. I am I'm so healthy, my physician didn't want to see me for 5 years.
Okay.
I'm volunteer of the decade at my kids' school.
Outstanding, yes.
I am, traveling to Fiji for vacation. Thanks to a robust career early on at IBM, I've got a nice, 401k and retirement plan.
Yep.
And I got friends and family coming to the cabin every weekend.
Perfect. And what more can you ask for?
And I was suffering. I was going to therapy. I was going to counseling. I was meditating. I was doing yoga. And if one more person gave me a gratitude journal, there was going to be a situation.
Right. And that's the stuff that people don't see that goes on behind the scenes. At your home, in your bedroom, wherever you're at, even at the office. And trying to let people know that it is out there and it's okay to talk about. And we'll kind of turn to you next, but all the steps that people can take and what the right routes are, what works best for them too, is very important at this day and age, with from young kids all the way up to high-end CEOs, healthcare facilities, social workers, people working in cubicles, people, small businesses everywhere.
Yeah, burnout's now the second pandemic.
Absolutely.
No one's exempt.
Nope.
And, quite frankly, our mission at Experience Happiness is reduce suffering.
Yes. So how long ago did you start? You're the co-founder of Experience Happiness.
Yeah, now the time flies. So 17 years ago.
Yeah, wow, amazing.
Right. And, we can say that we're the only organization that has a behavioral health solution that measurably helps people reduce burnout and improve happiness. And then our return to happiness measurement systems helps us link that to key performance indicators at the departmental organization. That might look like increased sales, increased engagement, inclusion, belonging, diversity, turnover, employee engagement, whatever it is.
Whatever it may be.
We tailor that to the organization. Perfect. So we're always managing and measuring what matters to the organization.
The organizations. That's really important. I mean, I know I've had a realm of jobs and having 7 kids between my significant other and myself. I mean, you see it everywhere you go. It doesn't matter, like I just explained, from the kids, having family members that are social workers, trauma centers, I mean, everywhere. So it's amazing, and I can't wait to learn more as we continue on the conversation. So Deanna, tell us a little bit about your background and where you came from.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So I have worked in healthcare for the last 23 years, manufacturing for many years prior to that, in the space of helping to make healthcare work better. Transformational ways of improving how healthcare works.
Sure.
And so a couple of years ago, I was fortunate to have connected with Nancy through an initiative I was leading at Hennepin Healthcare.
Wonderful.
And we were going to be creating a new care model for patients with congestive heart failure.
Sure.
And another business Nancy is a part of is consulting and experience-based design.
Okay.
And so we contracted with Dreambox to come in. And so we're working on building this new care model,
Sure.
and it became evident rather quickly
Yeah.
that one of the things that we needed to solve for, not only for the congestive heart failure folks, but for everybody in the
that culture.
ecosystem,
Yep.
was to reduce burnout and stress and improve happiness and overall quality of life.
Yep.
And so we did a test of THP.
Perfect.
Where I was educated, went through the program, and it's like, this is what we need. This is what we need.
Yes.
And so we built it as a part of the care model as
Perfect.
well.
That's important, especially in the healthcare field, but in any field.
Yeah.
So you mentioned THP. Tell myself and everybody else what THP is.
Yeah, so THP is the happiness practice.
Okay.
And it's a behavioral health solution that helps to dial down that burnout and stress and increase happiness at the same time. And as Nancy said, really works on, as you make those shifts, you also see improvements in other measures
Sure.
that are important to your organization.
Yep.
And it also has huge impact on personal life.
Absolutely.
Personal
I can
life is
imagine.
hugely improved.
Yes. Well, you can imagine, I mean, I'm sure you guys seeing the growth and the change every day and just every job and every project that you have would be a boost to them, but it's also to you, like, wow, I'm really making a difference. I'm
Yeah.
really helping people. If it's even just one person at the organization or if it's 10, just seeing their growth, they're continuing, they're spreading it out. They're telling everybody, hey, you know, look what I've learned.
Well, because the happiness practice is not another thing to do.
Right.
It cultivates a new way of being by developing new neural pathways. So there are 5 principles of happiness
Okay.
that are learned and practiced each for 30 days, because that's the time it takes our
I'm
human
sure.
system
Yep.
to
Changing
create
those
new
neural pathways.
Yep.
And each of the 5 principles work on a different aspect of our brain.
Sure.
So even though you learn and practice the principles kind of in the order that we will introduce them to you,
Okay.
they work together in a system. So once you go through kind of this 6-month experience of learning and practicing and basically changing your way of being from the inside out, it's how you are. It's like switching out your operating system.
Got it.
You know, and you're just more optimized, and you're more fully present in your life experience, and you're using your internal guidance system to create conscious decisions that amplify your happiness of yourself and others, as opposed to dealing in the drama and the trauma.
Yep.
You know, that we often
That
get.
lingers in the back end, or it could just be there and nobody knows it's there. Yeah.
Yes. And you know, we started kind of developing this, and we started healing.
Right. Which is
And
like,
our
how is
friend-
this happening?
No, it's true, right? It's
Bringing
true.
it home to
It's
your
like-
kids or whoever else, right?
Well, because everything else we were doing wasn't working.
Yeah, right.
And the thing is, burnout, depending on how many symptoms you have and how long you've had them and how pervasive they are, they can lead to pathology.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm seeing a psychiatrist, I'm seeing a counselor, but I didn't have the pathology of
You didn't know,
depression or
right.
anxiety. I was in burnout.
Yeah,
And you know, there's so much focus on mental health, as it should be right now.
certainly.
But you know, we're all probably on a spectrum of something.
Yes.
And most of us will go undiagnosed
Right.
and unmanaged.
Yep.
And if we wait for the healthcare systems to create access to mental health providers,
Yep.
we're going to be waiting a good long time.
Correct.
So the nice thing about the happiness practice is it's a doorway anyone can step through,
Yep.
and you don't need a diagnosis.
Perfect.
And anyone can learn to share the practice with others. We had high school students at Shakopee High School learning to share the practice with their friends
Wow.
at the beginning of the pandemic.
Which is important.
And their
That had to be
results, these junior high students that were sharing their practice with their friends got just as wonderful results
Sure.
as I would have
Yep.
by sharing the practice.
Right.
And they learn more quickly.
Yep, because you're meeting it
They
from your
can-
peers. You're hearing it, you're understanding.
And
It's
their
kind of-
brains don't
Their
have
brains
as
are
much to
younger.
rework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of anybody over 35.
Yes.
You need
It
the
takes a
full
little longer.
30
Hold
days.
on a minute. Wait. Yeah.
Right. Because it's a practice of learning and
Right.
getting back to
Yeah.
home plate, which
And
is
they're still at the learning
self-love and
stage.
self-worth.
Yes. Yep.
Right?
Yes.
Because the inner
absolutely.
critic just kind of starts to dial up.
Yep.
Yeah.
At a
right?
young age.
At a
for
young
sure.
age,
Yep.
right?
And it
I'm
just
not
kinda
good
keeps
enough.
on.
I'm not pretty enough. I'm not
Yep.
smart
And
enough.
social media.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a whole nother vein of
That's
itself. Like
another-
that's
yeah.
I have like I said with 7 kids, that is I always say sticks and stones will break my bones, but words won't ever hurt me. But those words that you can see that
Are worse.
are worse. They can constantly see them. They're everywhere for everybody to see. Even if you think they disappear, they don't, because it's already been seen. It's already been shared. It is what it is. So you've talked about the stages of it. Do you start people when they come in at different stages, or do you always start them at the beginning stage and kind of work their way through all 5 of them?
Yeah. So typically what we'll do is we will hold cohorts all together
Yeah.
at the same time. So like groups of 10 to 12 people
Sure.
make up a cohort.
Yep.
And we will start and go through. We actually have like a 101 where we really just kind of go through this is
Yeah.
what THP is and what you can expect going through the 6-month program.
Got it.
And then when we start with principle number 1, that is a full-on learning session. So there's
Nice.
45-minute learning sessions
Yep.
for each principle. And then 2 weeks later, there's what we call a happiness huddle, which is
Fun.
really, really cool.
Yep.
And what most people really love,
Yep.
because everybody gets to share what they've been doing is they've been practicing that principle.
Fun. So they're growing
And
and,
they
they're
learn
sharing
from
it
each
with
other.
others. Yep.
Everybody's learning from each other. Like you're
Wonderful.
facilitating, but they're learning from each other.
Yep.
And then you're learning more because you're
Yeah.
learning from them too.
It's like, oh, hey, I didn't even think about that
Yeah.
aspect that could have been brought into
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yes. So you do that the whole 6 months, right?
Nice,
So
yeah.
it's like one principle a month,
Got it.
session, happiness
So
huddle.
if people come in, they just start on whatever session they start on, or do they start
No,
back?
we would want to start at the
Fresh,
beginning.
okay.
You start.
Got it.
You want to start
Perfect.
fresh because they build upon each other.
Okay.
The
Nice. I
principles
didn't
do.
know if they kind of rotated
Yeah.
through.
Yeah,
and-
it's behavioral health.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you're in these cohorts,
Process.
you're on this healing journey
Yep.
together.
Got
And
it.
really kind of what happens in a cohort stays in a cohort.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ends up being very intimate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people, it's magical because it's personal development, it's leadership development, it's team building, all at the same time.
Right.
And the first thing we do is ground people in a definition of happiness.
Yeah.
And it's this. It's that happiness is our innate ability to locate and cultivate our serenity and our excitement about life,
Amazing.
regardless of outside forces.
Which is true. That's a big one, the outside forces. So yes.
And I would invite your listeners to go to our website now. There's a free and confidential happiness and burnout assessment. And just explore for yourself, how do you feel and how do you behave when you're not serene and you're not excited?
And where would they find that at?
Well, so experiencehappiness.biz, B-I-Z.
Okay.
And it's right there. Take
Yeah.
the assessment.
Everything's there.
And you can download your own report, like where are you on the 16 signs and symptoms of burnout
Sure.
and 12 signs and symptoms of happiness. But I'll just ask you.
Yeah.
So how do you feel and how do you behave when you're
actually-
not serene and you're not excited?
When I'm not serene and I'm not excited, I am busy, just like you were, having 7 kids, obviously going to all their events, everything like that. But I do find it's important to take time for myself, find things that make me happy, winter, summer, whatever that may be, whether it's hitting golf balls. Do you get frustrated here at work? We have, obviously, you have golf courses on our wall. That's my happy place. Hitting golf balls out there. If you can't do that, just taking time, having some quiet time, driving to and from all the sites that we go to. We met at a networking event last week, and I had 4 that day, so that was a lot. But usually when I'm in the car, it's listening to a podcast or listening to music, but a lot of times lately it's just been turning everything off.
So you answered the question beautifully on what you do.
Yep.
My question is, though, how do you feel and how do you behave when you're not serene and you're not excited?
I'm quiet. I'm kept to myself and just kind of, I let myself unwind, I guess. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just kind of tone down a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Most people that are not serene aren't comfortable with themselves. Mm-hmm. And when we don't have that excitement about our life, we're also kind of a little defeated and dejected. Mm-hmm. And so what's interesting is when you look at the 16 signs and symptoms of burnout, burnout's tricky,
right?
Because there's good stress. I'm excited to go to Ireland to play golf, right? But you have to get everything organized. Right. You got 7 kids, your father, all these things. That's good stress, right? And then there's kind of not so good stress, which is like, here we go again. Yep. It's always the same situation when we're dealing with this particular thing. We don't seem to kind of get through the hamster wheel, right? And on to something next. But burnout's unique. Mm-hmm. Burnout has behavioral, emotional, and physical symptoms. Right. And so the early warning signs is just pure exhaustion. Yeah. You just like
fatigue, can't do anything.
Fatigue, can't do anything. Mm-hmm. Also cynicism. Doesn't matter what I do. Right? And then that feeling of inefficacy, it's like, I'm not getting the result. I might be
spinning the wheels,
but I'm not getting anywhere.
Right.
Right? So those are the 3 early warning signs of burnout.
Great.
And no one's talking about this. We go to stress management classes. Right?
Yep.
Go for a walk, do something you love.
Yep.
But if you tell somebody who's in burnout to go do something you love,
not gonna happen.
They have no energy.
Nope. It's like I can't do it.
Fuel in the tank.
Yep.
So our wonderful healthcare providers, our wonderful teachers, mm-hmm. The people who kept the wheels on mm-hmm. our ecosystem during the last 2 years, they're in burnout. They have nothing in their tank.
Right.
So Deanna and I work with leaders such as you to say, how do you fill up the tank?
Yep.
And it's not more time off.
Nope.
It's give me tools to help me heal.
Help me let
burnout.
It out. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Because burnout is suffering.
Yep. Especially with COVID, do you guys notice that even after the fact that it's hit, people are still working from home trying to manage all the stresses that brought on, but also all the new stresses because now they have to get back to work or they are working from home.
Well, what's interesting, because we're working with the CDC Foundation right now, and it's very interesting to have a client that reports to the Surgeon General.
Right.
That's so every week we learn something.
Yes.
And just last week, the Surgeon General came out with his loneliness advisory. He said loneliness is as devastating as a 2-pack a day smoking habit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and since the pandemic, since we've kind of we've gotten comfortable kind of being more, I'll say internal. Yep. Right? Mm-hmm. Not as out and about, right? So he's very concerned about loneliness.
Right.
But on top of that, earlier this year, he put out a healthcare worker burnout advisory to the point that he says if we don't address healthcare worker burnout, we will not have a healthcare system in a year and a half.
Which is true, if you think about it.
And then the other advisory was youth mental health. Mm-hmm. And you touched on this. You've got 7 children right now. And, it doesn't even matter what the issues are. The sad thing is every 3 minutes, somebody under the age of 21 kills themselves.
Right.
So...
And it gives me chills just thinking about it because back when you were younger, I was younger, it was there, but it was never talked about. It was not something that came ahead. Like, it was all like...
Hush, hush.
Yeah, nobody knew suicide was... Well, they knew it was around, but it was never...
Well, you kind of knew,
about it.
Uncle Larry was sitting in the corner not doing so well.
Right.
But nobody was talking about that.
He's just ill. He's just sick.
That's just Uncle Larry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And, we weren't quite sure why, Sally or Sue wasn't doing so well in school. Right. But you just kind of, they'll work itself out. It's kind of the same
with addiction. Like, you don't talk about it or other diseases that are out there that people feel shamed by.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you have to be careful because what's so interesting about burnout, once you understand it, no one's exempt.
No. Not
and we focus a lot over about engagement. But even the most highly engaged,
Right.
employees can be at risk for burnout.
Oh, everybody.
I got off the plane one night. I came back traveling. I don't even know where I was, but probably living in corporate housing. I get off the plane and I go to the restroom. And I look in the mirror and I'm like, I didn't even recognize myself. And I called the owner of the business right then, probably at midnight. I'm like, I quit.
Yep.
I didn't plan on quitting. I didn't have a backup plan. I'm like, I got nothing.
Yep.
I've got nothing.
Yep.
And what's interesting is once you start to recognize it within yourself, you can see it in others.
Right.
And so that person that's not behaving the way you kind of want them to behave, they could be in burnout.
There's something going on there. Yep. And everybody in their life, myself included, obviously has had the stages of burnout. Was there, you've experienced it. It's life.
But there's a good chance that the people that are on a personal improvement plan are in burnout.
Yep. So you talk about the personal improvement plan and you talk about the THP. Tell us a little bit more about those and what people can do and how they can get involved. You said just coming through the front door, getting on your website and being,
just be open to it. Just be open to it. But Deanna, why don't you share with them the 5 principles of happiness?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So principle number 1 is to be conscious. So truly, like we talk about, really take in breaths, focus on what you're doing and how, just be conscious of what you're doing.
Get your head and heart
Get your head and your heart
Get them all
working
in one.
together.
Yep.
Exactly. And then step number 2 is to, when you know what you're doing, how are you feeling? Really try to figure that out. And more than, oh yeah, I'm good. It's
be in home with it so you understand it.
Yes. So how are you feeling? And often it's that cocktail mix. Like I can be feeling both positive things and negative things at the same time because of a situation that's going on.
Right.
So you be conscious, understand how you're feeling, co-create what works now.
Release control to be empowered.
Release control to be empowered. See, here we go.
We'll cut that part out. Don't worry.
Cut that. Number 3 is release control to be empowered.
Perfect.
Because, you understand how you're feeling. And if you're not feeling great about something, you're frustrated. It's like, okay, well, what can I do that I'm in charge of? Well, that's where release control to be empowered comes in next.
That you have control over.
What do I have control over? Exactly.
And what request you have of somebody else. You can make requests. We can make requests for each other, but everyone's on their own life path.
Right, and you never know what stage they're at, which...
Their life path.
Yep.
Yes. And to do kind and forwarding requests, right? Of yourself and others.
Absolutely.
So
that's a
being
big part.
kind to ourselves is really critical.
Yep.
This is where you get healthy boundaries, too, is you start to really understand. If I honor my feelings, because my feelings are my guidance system.
Yep.
And there's 3 of us doing this conversation today.
Sure are.
But we're not all having the same experience.
No, and you don't know where I'm at, and I don't know where either of you are coming into it or anything
but
like that.
I'm 100% empowered and accountable for my internal state.
Right, which is huge. And knowing those boundaries and knowing what
More
you
this,
can do
less
for
of this.
yourself.
Like when you offered us water, I'm like, water sounds like a really good thing. Thank you very much.
And here's your option.
But you know what?
Yep.
I had to catch an old belief that was playing. It's like, no, I'm good. Nobody needs to do anything for me. But I had to catch it for me to say, yes, I'll take a water. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yep. And I do that a lot myself too. Not like, I'll just handle it. I'll get it done.
Right. But if you would take that,
hold
you
on.
would just take that second, like, water's always good.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Or somebody wants to help with something. Hey, one less thing off my plate.
Sure. Right. And then with that release control to be empowered, it's like you're responsible for your own stuff too.
Yes.
I'm responsible for my stuff.
Mine, yep.
I'm inviting you to do the same. How about this?
Let's meet in the
Which
middle.
leads to principle number 4.
Which is the co-create what works now.
Perfect.
My favorite one, because everything and everyone is always changing.
Yes, they are.
So what worked
The
5
world
minutes
changes,
ago?
right.
Exactly.
What worked
you never
last
know
week
what's-
may not work today.
What tomorrow's going to bring or
Exactly.
what's going to happen when we get out of our
Yeah,
chairs.
exactly. So I find this super helpful at home.
Yeah.
Always.
Absolutely.
If anybody who's dealing with more than one person in their household,
Yep.
you need to co-create what works
Right.
out often.
Yes.
Because we know that we're not in
cat.
control.
Yeah, we don't have a game plan.
Yeah.
It's just, all right, let's figure it out,
Exactly.
make it work. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, practicing at home and getting those neural pathways working right really helps you to propel it to,
The other people too.
bring it to other people.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a great one. I really like that one.
Yeah. And then the last principle is learn life lessons. Mm-hmm. And this is where Nancy has just shared an example of catch your beliefs.
Yep.
Right? Because we all have beliefs.
Right.
That are driving the bus of our life.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
But they don't have to stay that way.
Right.
We can change those
can
beliefs.
change those,
We
yeah.
have the ability to go, why am I thinking that way? I don't have to have that belief. It's as simple as recognizing it and saying, I'm going to change this.
Yep.
And moving forward.
It was interesting. I was out to dinner with some friends last night, and I don't even know what, somebody said something. I think it was something about food.
Yep.
Somebody remarked about some food they liked or what they don't like. And they were looking at me for some response. And I was going through my beliefs. Mm-hmm. And it was visible to them. It's like, well, you're not responding. Like, I'm checking my biases. Like, I was about to say I don't like it, but I caught myself to say, now, why don't I like this?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it was just so funny because I was doing my subconscious
Self-checking
work.
myself. Yeah, hold on a minute.
Why am I about to say automatically, I don't like this, when I'm like, I actually have no idea if I like it or not like it. It was just a conditioning, right, that I had. And so, when you look at your belief systems, it's transformative, because the beautiful thing about our beliefs, it drives our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And our beliefs are both the lens of which we perceive the world, and it's the lens of which we experience the world.
Right. What you see and what you feel.
And this is why, with a lot of things that are going on with the EDI movement, like, we actually don't know, us people, white privilege, have no idea what it really feels like to be afraid to drive black.
Right.
Mm-hmm. We have no idea.
True story. Yeah.
But when I have a good friend, she adopted a beautiful black boy, and he's learning to drive now, and the conversations they are having is tremendous. Right. She's white, the mother is white, but the child is a black, handsome young man, smart too, kind as well, and it's tricky for them. Because she actually does not know how he feels as he's learning to drive as a black man. She was saying the other day, she said, I was picking her up from the mall, and we were running late, so I'm like, I'm right outside, just run. And he goes, I'm not running in a mall.
Yeah.
So I share that as a really good example of our need to do our own work. What are our beliefs? Where are our biases? We do a lot of work around inclusion, because for us to be inclusive, we have to really check our biases.
Right. Sure do.
And so if we want an inclusive culture, we got to equip people with things like the happiness practice, so you check yourself.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Why am I responding this way?
It's like a timeout on yourself. Like, okay, what am I thinking here? Like, why did that almost come out in...
Total timeout.
What was I going to say?
Yeah. And then what happens is beliefs show up in family systems, in work systems, in departments, in teams, and
carries
whatnot.
on and on.
Right. So you can actually use the practice to optimize your team.
Yes.
And whatnot. So we have a friend who he's a certified THP facilitator. He's like at 5 degrees, and one of them is with integrative something from the spirit center of spirituality and healing at the U.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is the instruction manual for humans that none of us got.
That we all missed.
Yes, because when you think about it, is we all know that we feel better when we're conscious.
Sure do.
Our head and heart working together, we're not ruminating about the past and not worried about the future. Right. We are fully present. We all know what that feels like.
Yep.
And it feels really good. And we also know what it feels like when we're not conscious.
Right.
When you ever drive from point A to point B, and you get to point B, like, I have no idea how we got there, and thank God I didn't
Just
have
in
an
the
accident.
zone. Yep.
Yeah.
I just lost 15 minutes of my life.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
And then, principle note 2 that honor feelings Deanna is talking about is all feelings are valid. And those uncomfortable ones could save your life.
Sure could.
They could get you to the doctor sooner. They could get you to stop at the.
It's like, okay, time out, you need to take a break. Like, just stop. Yeah.
Right. And they also bring more joy to your life. Right? It's like, you know what, I'm feeling so good right now, I'm going to ride this.
Yeah.
Right? Because our feelings are like the weather. They're constantly changing.
Right. And the weather can make your feelings change too.
Yeah. We get a lot of pushback sometimes on using the word happiness, but the problem is we don't go around saying, how's your subjective well-being?
Right. We have, right?
Oh, my well-being kind of sucks today.
Yeah, how can I support your subjective well-being? What can I do to make your your subjective well-being
like,
better?
what?
Exactly. Right.
So what people have to just understand is it's not like skipping up and jumping up and down the streets.
Right.
It's that internal happiness.
Internal, like, it's not a culture either. You guys were kind of explaining that a little bit earlier. So explain, when people think happiness, do they think it's a culture? Do they think it's a single?
Well, what do you think it is? We typically ask, what do you think happiness is?
Happiness is yourself, and how you portray yourself, and how you carry yourself, what you think about yourself, and what others think of you after you deal with yourself.
Yeah, I would add, what we've learned in the research is happiness is an internal state.
Comes from within, yep.
And it's actually your internal kind of, I'll say, measurement system on how well you are being who you're meant to be.
Right.
At this moment in your life experience. Because we're meant to evolve and change.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the thing.
Life
And I like how you brought up the measurement system too, because this was a big thing for me to get, but it's like our feelings are our own data.
And it's like a computer
You don't need
system
to know how I'm
inside it.
feeling all the time. You don't need to know how I'm feeling all the time, but I
You
do.
need to know, though.
So that I can operate in a way that supports my happiness and well-being.
It's important.
And what we learned about feelings is suppressing them doesn't make them go away.
Nope.
Rather, they sit there as little energy bombs, and they typically come
Like a
out
bomb.
in the form of chronic disease.
Yep.
The Finnish researchers are ahead of us a little bit on this, but they are finding that almost every chronic condition, congestive heart failure, dementia, cancer, rheumatoid arthritis, things like that, can be traced back to the suppression of our feelings.
Of letting them out, right?
Yep.
I agree with
Boy,
that.
I wish I
100%.
would have known that years ago.
I think everybody
because
would.
I actually have a chronic disease, and I fully believe it's because I was not open with my feelings.
To even yourself.
To myself.
So that's the thing. The thing about, for each of the 5 principles, we give you 3 steps to practice. They're like physical therapy for the brain. So like principle number 1, here's the 3 steps.
Love to hear them.
3 times a day.
Yep.
Like set your timer on your phone. Just a little thing that's like,
Mine's probably setting as we talk right now. I just want to be on the grade.
Right, and at odd times, like 7:15 in the morning and 2:12 in the afternoon, and you want to just odd times,
Random,
right?
yeah.
And when you hear it, just say, okay, I'm going to do these 3 steps. So the 3 steps for being conscious are this: take a breath, locate what you're doing, and identify how you're feeling.
Got it.
Just doing that connects your head and your heart. You don't have to judge how you're feeling. You don't have to name your feelings. It's just about understanding that you're a human being.
Right? And it's okay
you're
to
a
feel
human
that way.
being, not a human doing.
Yep.
And so as you're going about your day doing things, you are feeling things. So just getting your head and heart connected is life-saving.
Absolutely.
Quite frankly.
I have a friend, kind of a short little story kind of tying into what you said, but her daughter lost her baby, and she's a mother, and it's your daughter and your daughter's baby. So she kept her feelings in. She ended up having cancer, which led to a heart attack. almost a week after her daughter lost her baby.
Oh my.
And they're saying that it's all kind of ties back to the heartbreak because it was never released. You know, it's kind of one of those that it's amazing how it works.
Sad
but
reality.
Yeah.
Real
Or
example.
someone dying after
so
their spouse
sorry.
or significant other dies. Like
Yes. Yeah.
you can die of heartache, or you just got to deal with it.
So we have to be able to recognize and locate our feelings.
Yeah.
For ourselves.
For sure. And set those boundaries. I think that's important, and that's one I've learned in the last, probably more so in the last year, is just setting those personal boundaries and doing what's best for me.
Right, and you
Exactly.
start to, what's so great about the practice is over time as you practice it, it's a life practice.
Right. Oh,
and
yeah.
You practice it at home. You practice it while you're
You probably don't even know you're practicing it anymore, right? Yep.
Right. You'll practice it when you're playing golf. You'll
Yep.
notice
yes.
in your golf game that you can use the practice.
Yep.
Right? Are you fully conscious?
Time,
Are you
take a
on
deep breath,
right?
step back,
All these
reset,
things, right?
refocus.
Swing easy.
Yep.
And quite frankly, what my friend and business partner and I had to do is we had to take the mystery out of it. It's like I was reading all the self-help books and I wasn't getting it.
Connecting.
So the happiness practice takes the mystery out
Nice.
of how you be conscious, honor feelings, release control, co-create what works, and evolve at the level of belief.
Yeah.
Because there's two core root beliefs that we are all trying to extinguish
Yep.
on our life journey, and one is I'm not loved, and the other is I'm not good enough. And if we're operating from the root belief of I'm not loved, we tend to compromise our own well-being to seek approval from others.
Absolutely.
And when we're operating from the root belief of I'm not good enough, we tend to put other people down in order to feel temporarily good.
Bring someone else
And
down.
no one's
make them
exempt.
better.
There's no human on the planet that isn't working through the life lessons to extinguish those two beliefs and get to the truth of who we all are, which is grounded in self-love and self-worth.
It's important, and it's great for not just myself to hear it, with all the stuff going on in my life, everybody else's life, but our viewers. And it's great to incorporate, we've talked about down the road, to incorporating viewers to have responses, letting them, tag on and ask questions and kind of be part of the question and answer and just kind of being here. But when you talk about really getting down deep core into your soul and finding out what works for you and what resets you and refocuses you, and just the 3 common beliefs that you said, those are important. Doesn't matter who you are. So it's great to share that. Where can people find you at when you say they can come through your doors? Where are you guys located?
So we're virtual.
Nice.
We were virtual before the pandemic because
Perfect.
Finland called us.
Yes.
And so, so really just come to our
getting online.
website.
Yep.
Yeah, Experience Happiness, all strung together, .biz.
Yep.
You can also find me at Nancy at experiencehappiness.biz. And really, you just reach out to me and we'll have a conversation. We're bringing it to church communities. We're bringing it to camps. We're bringing it into organizations of all industries. Anywhere where there are people.
Support groups.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's what
Huge
we're
one.
going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're working with the Scleroderma Foundation, National Scleroderma Foundation.
Yep.
That's the chronic disease that I have.
Yep.
And so we're working to incorporate it into our support groups.
Wonderful.
Because when you get the news of a chronic disease of any kind, it's devastating.
Oh, it is. Absolutely. For yourself, you don't know how to handle it.
Exactly.
And then you start, as my father's got chronic illnesses, he worries about how everybody else is going to handle it, not so much yourself. So you tuck those feelings in for yourself, and then the stress comes out of what's my wife going to do?
Stress
what are
comes
my
out
kids going to do?
wonky.
You never know how different people deal with it. So that's huge.
Exactly.
And there are a lot of support groups out there.
And I don't know, I think we tossed around some ideas. We can edit this out.
For sure.
But, it could be interesting if you and your colleagues here want to go through the practice and invite the readers in along the way.
Absolutely. That would be fun to do.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a really cool idea.
That would be great to do. I'll talk to a couple of the owners that aren't obviously here right now, but it would be great to just take the process.
I mean, your values are like kindness. Your values are in alignment with what happiness
for sure
is.
And we like to, as a company too, we like to promote happiness. it's one of the things you see when you go into businesses, obviously all the white spaces and people just working and doing their grind and very monotonous.
You could feel that walking in here and just meeting everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we all, for the most part,
language that everybody's
we
sharing.
get along, we're a team, we're happy, we try to bring that out to other people. No matter what you do in your life, making a difference in people's life is huge. I mean, we started off when we started with the window film business. There are a lot of people out there that have XP. For the viewers or yourself, if you don't know what that is, it's a reaction to the skin. When the sun hits or you're breathing, your immune system shuts down. You could die from being out in the sun. There's kids, there's adults, there's a lot of people in there. The U of M and 3M have reached out to us and had some patients that have had it and say, hey, how can we help? Can we go to the schools? Can we go to their homes? Can we help with their cars?
Wow.
Block those UV rays because
That's
basically
fantastic.
life or death. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
We had a little story, a little guy, cutest little guy come in here. His name was Jackson. You guys can see it on YouTube and all our other social media, but he came in almost like a spacesuit. Just happy as happy could be. Didn't know the difference. They're young, they're kids. And just being able to go and help make a difference in his life. Nonetheless, everybody else that has it, it's one of those things that, small things like that, or putting images on walls, on cars, just letting people... When you spend 90% of your time working, whether it's in an office or where you're at, why not do something to make it brighter, or just more enjoyable?
That environmental part of the culture.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would also suggest that one of the most interesting things about the happiness practice is you get really curious about your internal state all the time. And so then work just becomes a classroom for you to practice.
You're constantly checking yourself.
Yeah. So it takes on a whole new meaning, and you shift from being a human doing to a human being, and you realize that whether you're cooking dinner or taking the kids to a soccer game or working on a proposal or doing a podcast, it's actually all it is opportunities for me to practice being the best human I can be in that moment.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, it doesn't matter what you're doing.
Right. Right. You just kind of bring it back in, hone it back in.
Right. And the nice thing about anytime we shift at the level of belief, it's the quantum physics of it. Like when we shift the wave, the particles naturally shift. And so, kind of like if mom ain't happy, nobody's happy.
Right.
Right. And so, when you start living from a place of authentic inside-out happiness and using the practice, other people just pick it up and they come along right on.
They're just going to be tagging on and feeling behind you.
It feels better.
Yep. It's not that, hey, let's get things done.
Exactly. It just feels better.
Yeah. Wonderful. So you guys have kids of your own and they're grown up. Have they done the practice, or they just see it from you and kind of can carry it and incorporate it in, or how has that worked? Do they know the lessons and all the stages and everything like that? And
well, we have 5 children.
Okay.
And a couple of them have been through the practice.
Nice. Well, and I'm sure just having you in it too helps because you can share it with them.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, my kids were 15 and 16 when I embarked in this journey, and they're 30, 32, whatever they are. And what's fun is they now have the awareness of my shifts.
Right. Yep.
And I do a lot of podcasts, I do a lot of speaking and whatnot. So they're very aware that I was suicidal back then.
Yep.
Right. And so they can see how the practice helped me, first of all, stay alive.
Yep.
And thrive.
Number one superpower, because she's my mom.
Right.
She's my superhero because we've seen her come from there all the way up.
And then now what'll happen is like, Mom, I'm here with my friend Joey, and he needs the practice right now. So then he does.
Yep.
So I get that. Now I'm getting that.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not ready to teach it to share it with anybody, but Mom, I got somebody.
I know it enough, but I'm not going to do it because you're my friend. But here's somebody that knows it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's funny how kids do that, even with driving down the road with graphic signs like, "Hey mom, they could use some window film," or that sign's burnt
it's
out,
so
mom.
true.
Or they start to pick up on the little things, and they're like your own little, I don't want to say salesperson, but they'll carry on what you carry on. So what you say, you'll notice one of their kids will start to pick it up, or their friends will be like, "Hey, she's doing this, and there's a sign over there," and they'll send me a picture. I'll be like, "All right, so that's passed from 4 people, so it's working." It's just the little things.
Yeah.
So
but it has been really fun for me and my learning, and obviously I think it's a journey.
Yes.
You continually learn and grow in this.
Yep.
But my kids have so noticed.
Right. And they've seen the shift too.
They've
probably.
seen that shift. Exactly.
The good thing with kids too is they can pick up, like, if you're starting to slip down that slope again, they can be like, "Hey, almost put you in check
They
quicker
can do
than
a
anything."
check.
Hey, Mom.
Oh, they would have no problem doing that check.
Right.
Exactly.
Mom, you could use your practice right now.
Yep. I could see that for sure. "Hey mom, put yourself in check. Just take time out." All right.
Yeah, I have learned to ask for a do-over. I'm like, okay, hang on.
Like, "Mom, why are you doing?"
I did things the way my mother would have done. That was just a way my mother would have done something. I want a do-over. Can I get a do-over?
Right.
Can we just kind of go back?
"I need help, please hold on."
Exactly.
Well,
and that's okay because you can catch yourself.
Oh, right. And it's okay to correct yourself in front of them because they're knowing that you're doing it to improve yourself.
Exactly.
So what I think has been really fun for me too is in the last year probably as we've been doing this, one of the things that I've become more aware of that is a part of forming who we are is generational trauma.
For sure. Yeah. That's a big one.
And my kids are so wanting to fix that and move forward. It's like
that.
we want to break this generational trauma. Happiness practice is a way to start breaking that trauma.
Breaking the cycle, breaking the trauma.
The cycle.
Yep.
And it doesn't mean you might not need some official therapy. So we're very clear.
Yeah.
If somebody needs or is engaged in professional therapy, yes. But Dr. Corey Keyes, he's the guy that does a lot of work on flourishing. He says something really nice. He's got this little model. And he's like, there's too much mental illness, but not enough mental health.
Right.
And he's like, no matter where you are on the spectrum. And he's interesting because when he's presenting, he was in town a couple of years ago, and we got to spend a day with him. And he'll say, he goes, I have PTSD, I have anxiety, and something else. And I don't take my medication when I'm presenting because I want you to see it.
Yep, see it and feel it so you understand.
He actually ran off the stage at one point.
Yep.
And who knows? I mean,
who knows why or
who
what?
knows why? And he came
that's
back.
Where he's at.
Maybe 45 minutes later, he goes, I just had a full-blown anxiety attack.
Yep.
So I went and did that. So interesting. Right?
Yep.
Very interesting. But what I think is so great about the practice is that it's grounded in self-love, self-worth, which we are all deserving of and meant to get to.
Yes.
And it allows us to be more kind to ourselves and others.
Yep.
We're just these human. We're Neanderthals.
Yep.
We're not that far from knuckle dragging.
Nope, not at all. You can still look at this day and you're like, wow, I look a lot like.
Right. Yeah. And so and the beautiful thing about happiness, I mean, everybody wants to be happy.
Right.
But what it is for you and what it is for you,
different
and what
for
it is
everybody.
for me,
Right.
and it changes daily.
Yep. Sure does.
Right.
Where I was a year ago to where I am today, like,
and
the
where
same
you
little
are now
story
versus
pop up, or the kids say something, "Hey mom," I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it seems like forever ago, but it wasn't. It was just a year ago,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you've been so generous.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you guys coming in and kind of hearing a little more about the practice. And for all our viewers, hopefully they'll get online and take the self-assessment and see where they're at, and just kind of, if anything, if they don't go to your website, which is
experiencehappiness.biz.
Yep. Then they'll at least learn something and take it from here. At the end of the day, it's about helping, it's about giving, it's about being out there and letting people know that there are people out there.
And it's also, I'll just say, if we want a better world, it first starts with us.
Right.
So when we do the work to create a peaceful, calm, loving state internally,
Yep.
that's the gift we actually give to the world.
Amazing. Yep, it is. when you think about it. I mean, whether it's kids, having you guys on the show, it's just the little things throughout the day, but it all comes down to yourself and where you're at, and who knows where that'll be on the roller coaster of life, but it's always being able to kind of come back to it and connect. So, yeah. I appreciate you guys both coming in.
Thank you for the
Appreciate you.
opportunity.
Thank
Thank you very
so
much. It was great to have you guys.